Why Notion feels overwhelming after Obsidian. Hi. If you are an Obsidian user and just started using Notion, you might feel like it's a lot, too much, and overwhelming. Here's the truth. This is normal. Obsidian and Notion think about notes, tasks, and ideas in very different ways. In this video, I will explain why Notion can feel overwhelming after Obsidian and show you some strategies to make the transition smoother. If we talk about Obsidian, it is built for thinking, linking ideas, and deep work. Notes are small, atomic, and linked freely. Daily notes are simple text files. You see connections in a graph or via backlinks. There's almost no structure forced on you, and you keep everything under your control. The tasks are under your control. You add checkboxes, you take them out, you add them in, you insert tables, or you can take them out as well. Let's delete this. In Obsidian, simplicity feels natural if you think bottom up and like building your own systems over time. When you open Notion, everything is a page or database. It doesn't directly open a blank note where you can just start writing your daily notes, but you have to keep them more organized. There are properties, relations, filters, boards, calendars, and it can feel like you need a degree to manage your notes. AI, templates, rollups, it's structured, visual, and collaborative by default. For an Obsidian user, this is top-down thinking, which is very different from Obsidian's freeform approach. In Obsidian, you create structure as you need it. In Notion, structure is everywhere from the start. Even when you click on creating a new note or a new page, it is going to give you suggestions to start with an AI note taker. Ask AI to prompt it for you and generate the whole page for you, where you can refine and edit the details later, or even a database, a form, give you templates. Let's click on database and you can see it's going to give you a structured suggestion even here. You can start with an empty database, but even this is going to be structured. You can later on add properties like status, date, person, phone number. All of them are mentioned here. There are going to be relations like right here. These relations are much different from the backlinks that connect different nodes and concepts together, so it's going to be a little confusing for you at first. This is all powerful, but it can be overwhelming until you get used to it. Notion is very visual. You see tables, columns, toggles, boards, progress bars all at once. And Obsidian, by contrast, is mostly text-based. Your eyes follow links and text, not dashboards. So seeing too many options on Notions at once can cause decision fatigue. You're constantly asking, do I create a page, a database, a board, or a list? It's amazing once you learn it, but it's a lot at first. In Obsidian, everything is just a note, flat and flexible. You can edit them whenever you want, you can delete them, or you can create subfolders and subnodes. But it's mostly pretty simple. In Notion, everything is a database record or page. You need properties, relations, and filters to connect things. Like I said earlier, you need to create relations. You can add a relation property. Like right here, you can simply just connect any of your folder, your page, different tables, and just like that, you can see. This detail is useful for teams in tracking, but for someone used to simplicity, it feels like extra work. Here's how to make it easier. You can start small. You can use Notion just for one project or your daily notes. Right here is a database for your daily notes. It's linked with different and separate notes. You can simply just type in your notes. You're going to open it, and this is just like having folders and subnodes right under it. Just like here in Obsidian, there are project ideas. This is a whole folder. Let me collapse the rest of the notes so it doesn't get too much. Right here is a folder for project ideas. I click on two of these notes under it. And in Notion, it is similar, but you have a table for it. You can mimic Obsidian's simplicity, and you can use a single table or list first before diving into relations or boards. You of course don't have to connect everything with each other. You can write things down simply and you don't have to do much of the work. Another important tip is to use AI. The built-in AI is really helpful. You can ask Notion AI to summarize notes, organize tasks, or highlight key points. This keeps your workflow simple while you get comfortable. Obsidian trains you to think bottom up, and Notion asks you to think top down, project first, then task, and then notes. It gives you a proper structure of what you have to do first. Once you embrace this, Notion stops feeling overwhelming, and you start seeing structure as a tool to speed up work, not a limitation. To sum it up, Notion feels overwhelming after Obsidian because it is structured, visual, and top down, while Obsidian is flexible, text based, and bottom up. The key is to start small, mimic your Obsidian workflow, and use AI prompts to reduce cognitive load. Once you adapt, Notion becomes a powerful complement to Obsidian, letting you plan, execute, and track tasks efficiently. So, before I wrap this up, I want to zoom out for a second and really land the point of why Notion feels overwhelming after using Obsidian. Because it's not just about features, it's about how your brain works. When you move from Obsidian to Notion, the biggest shock isn't the UI, it's the mental load. Obsidian trains your brain to think in connections and not just structures. You open a note, you write a link, and simply you move on. There is no pressure to decide where something belongs before you think, but Notion flips that completely. In Notion, you are constantly being asked, is this page or a database? Or why are there so many databases? Why you cannot write in your daily notes or brainstorm through them? Do I need a template for this? Or where does this live in my workspace? And after Obsidian, that feels really exhausting because you already learned that clarity comes after thinking, not before it. Another reason Notion feels overwhelming is because it is visually loud. Buttons, toggles, icons, there is just so much going on. When you click on a new page, you simply get lots of databases, forms, even templates, and most of the times when you're new to this, you cannot decide where to start. This pulls your attention away from the actual thought you're trying to capture, and if you talk about Obsidian, it is quiet. It gets out of your way, and once your brain gets used to that silence, Notion can feel like walking into a crowded room. Now, this doesn't mean that Notion is bad. It just seems Notion is a manager and Obsidian is a thinking space. Notion is really great when you already know what you're building and you need structure, tracking, or collaboration. And Obsidian really shines when you don't need friction while writing, or when you are exploring new ideas, learning, journaling, or thinking about a long-term workspace. So if you're feeling overwhelmed going back to Notion after Obsidian, here are a few quick tips to make it easier. Tip 1. Stop trying to recreate Obsidian inside Notion. Obsidian is its own workspace and application. You don't need to create the same replica inside Notion. No second brain, no complex databases, just start with a plain page. Tip 2 is to use Notion for output and not for thinking. Think in Obsidian, plan, publish, or organize in Notion. You can use both the applications together, which is a better option if you still get super overwhelmed using Notion. Tip 3 is to hide complexity until you actually need it. You can ignore these databases, forms, or any other templates. Add them only when the chaos actually shows up. And honestly, the most important takeaway here is that if Notion feels overwhelming after Obsidian, it doesn't mean that you are doing something wrong. It means that you've trained your brain to value clarity, speed, and freedom. And now you are more sensitive to friction. And that is actually a good thing. So instead of forcing yourself to pick one tool forever, let each tool do what it does best. Use Obsidian to think and use Notion to organize. And don't let productivity tools turn into productivity stress. If this video helped you understand why Notion feels the way it does after Obsidian, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives like this. And let me know in the comments which tool you are currently using or stuck between. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.